We've had masterpieces that were based on e-hobby ideas. We've had masterpieces that were based on lucky draw campaign ideas. We've had masterpieces based off of Diaclone ideas. We've even had masterpieces based off of running changes and weird stuff within Transformers production. Now we finally have a masterpiece that harkens back to an early third-party idea and later Transformers Legends Sakamoto concept. Let's talk about Transformers MP-55 Masterpiece Nightbird. Now, what's interesting about this is this news broke once again the same way like the premium finished Transformers did. Vupaza Megastore posted up their early pre-orders, and we get this super tiny, grainy, with superimposed with pre-order information stuff going on. And it's clearly Masterpiece Arcee that has been retooled and repainted into that of a Masterpiece Nightbird with a whole bunch of accessories and everything like that. Now, the history of this character being based off of an Arcee mold is interesting because it dates all the way back to 2010 with TFCon, a convention exclusive. TFCon had the Nightbird exclusive. It was actually called the Nightbird exclusive because the trademark at the time did not exist within Takara or Hasbro. And it was an exclusive. It was a repaint retool of a third-party Arcee that existed at the time with Impossible Toys. And essentially it was this little Nightbird figure. It came with two little sais. It came with a little lightsaber sword, some guns. Nice little figure. Again, it was what it was at the time. Third party, especially back then in 2009, 2010, still wasn't like a perfected art form in terms of quality control and feeling like an official product like it is today. I mean, if you weren't Fans Project, you really were just, literally a garage kit company in a lot of ways. And it was fine. It was a fine little toy. I got to work on this personally, and then later on do a comic book with Alex Milne and Josh Perez. It was a nice little fun project that we all did all the way back in 2009, 2010. And then 6 years later, Sakamoto would take that idea, that concept, the Arcee into Nightbird concept, and we would get the Transformers Legends Nightbird toy from the Transformers Legends line with Sakamoto, with his comic and everything. And it was really cool. We fast forward to today, and now we have this. And what's cool about the accessories that are included here, and it's very hard to tell because we have all this pre-order stuff that's posted in the way here, but to harken back to its Transformer Legends origins and what the mold possessed, and again, also what the original third-party version had, it comes with two sais, which again, the third-party one kind of was the first to do that with the lightsaber sword. It comes with the two lightsaber swords, or the energy swords. It comes with some blast accessories. It looks like there's 3 of them. It comes with 2 guns, again, much like the third-party one and the Arcee, which came with 2 different kinds of guns, again, also hearkening to the Arcee mold itself that it comes from Masterpiece. It comes with 2 gigantic swords molded after the Transformer Legends version, which again comes from the Transformers Generations or Transformer Legends Arcee figure. So there's a lot of cool little accessories there, and even an extra face sculpt that is hard to make out, but I think it's an unmasked Nightbird, which again harkens back to Sakamoto and this one panel where you get to see Nightbird's face under her mask. So nice little figure here. I like what's going on. Again, a lot of people are confused by it. They're going, oh, why are they doing this? Nightbird was never like that in the fiction. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, but the problem is that Nightbird never was a transforming character, so there really is only so many limitations you could do to make a Nightbird toy to reality without it just being an action figure. Yeah, one day we're going to get our Transformers RED PVC, 6-inch Nightbird figure, and then you'll get your perfect Nightbird, but from a Masterpiece kind of thing, if it's not going to transform, it's not going to be in the Masterpiece line. So this is the next best thing, and what it does is it pulls from its history. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this segment, we've had Masterpieces based off of stuff that never was in the show. Road Rage wasn't a show character. That was just a Diaclone concept, later on an e-hobby character, but yet they made a masterpiece. Again, and it wasn't like they made the masterpiece specifically to be Road Rage. They're like, hey, we got the tracks mold, let's do something with it. They did stuff that was based off of running change characters. The Red Bumblebee. Never was a show character. It was just a running change. Hey, sometimes we had red bumblebees in the assortments, or alternatively, the Microman kind of origins too with the red bumblebee sculpts. It's part of that history. Never was a show thing. Hey, we got to do something with that mold. Let's do something with it. And I could go on and on when we're talking about Exhaust with Diaclone, origins and the Marlboro cigarette, Wheeljack. So this kind of fits in with that. It doesn't fit in with your super show accurate G1 display. It fits in more with your obscure, blue streaks and toy color Shockwave and Megaplex Megatrons and I could go on and on and on of all the weird stuff. I mean, Black Rodimuses, the Exhaust, the Road Rages, the why I feel like I'm forgetting something. The Tiger tracks, the campaign exclusives and lucky draws like Loud Pedal. So there's just so much of that. So much. And that's where she'll fit in. And with that little third-party history, too, it makes her, third-party origin and Transformer Legends origin, it makes it unique in itself right there, too. Because it also is a Masterpiece toy based on that kind of history, as opposed to all the other stuff I've just mentioned previously. So, according to Lupaza's Megastore here and all this Japanese that's written in front of the figure, the pre-orders for this is going to open up July 28th. So, chances are, because this weekend is the Fans Expo in Hong Kong and Hasbro and Takara are going to be there, maybe we're probably going to see some cleaner images of this soon enough, and we'll be able to discuss. I get a feeling, much like what always happens with us, we break the news, and then when the Saturday rolls around for the live stream on Saturday night with the podcast, we'll have newer images, and then we could discuss it further and recorrect anything that we didn't know previously. But this is really interesting. This is really interesting. I dig it a lot. Again, it's pulling from that Sakamoto idea while using that uses a mold that came from Yuki Ashima, Mr. Kissplay, and then going even further back to TFCon and 2010, and even something that me, Alex Mill, and Josh Perez, we all got to work on together. So it's a nice little interesting historical piece of Transformers lore. And I'm curious to see more of it. I was actually, people were hot and cold about that Arcee mold. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty well posable compared to a lot of the other third-party output that's been put out there. I don't think there's a perfect Arcee mold, but I'm pretty happy with what Takara put out, and using it for this Nightbird one. From what I could tell, it's the head sculpt right now, but there might be other pieces that are resculpted too, maybe the chest and the legs. It's hard to tell, little grainy image here. But hopefully we'll learn more in the future, in the very near future, especially with a pre-order date coming up hot. It's technically only 7 days away, so as of this recording, so we'll see what happens. But this is pretty awesome stuff. Let me know what you think. And I mean, this really, again, it opens up saying, like, there's a lot of stuff that could fall into the masterpiece category as long as it's a mold that's pre-existing and you could kind of do stuff. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't go with the Paradron Medic, but I'm pretty sure that's a given. At some point, we're going to get some kind of seafoam colored Arcee with some extra accessories, a lifeline, if you will. And we'll see what happens with that. But let me know what you think. Pretty cool stuff.